Welcome to LIS754, Systems Analysis and Design. And in this session, we're going to talk about security components and the threats to security in an information system. There are three primary components to a secure system. One is confidentiality, the other is integrity, and the third is availability. And all three of these are considered to be the security triad, and all are required in order to have a system that could be considered to be secure. So let's talk about what each of those means. When we talk about confidentiality, we're really talking about keeping information away from unauthorized people. In this definition, we call it unauthorized read operations. We don't want people reading that information, getting access to that information, unless they absolutely need it. We sometimes talk about privacy when we talk about confidentiality, but we're really talking about making sure that only the right people can see information and only when it's necessary within our systems. When we talk about integrity, we're in making sure that the data is safe from being modified outside of the normal procedures. That is, we don't want people making changes to the system if they don't have rights to it. We want to make sure that data is not modified incorrectly. So when we talk about having information modified incorrectly where people can make errors in our system, we talk about that as semantic integrity. That is, the meaning of the data needs to be correct. And we've talked about that in some of our other sessions where we talked about a little bit of that when we were talking about use cases. We've talked about that in other situations. We want to make sure that the data is correct. And if the data is not correct, it does not have integrity. And that's an element of security. We really want to make sure that our information is protected from unauthorized modifications. That is, someone who does not have the authority to work on something, to make a change to something. We want to make sure that those people don't get in. And then we want to work on the authenticity of the people who are making changes. That is, we want to make sure that only the right people can get in to make changes to our system. And availability, making sure that the information is available to the right people at the right time, that our systems are not down, that our systems haven't failed, that people who should be allowed access aren't allowed in. That is what we are talking about with availability. In addition to that triad of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, there are often two other components that get talked about in conjunction with those three. And they really have to do more with integrity than confidentiality or availability, but they are, again, very important. Talking about information quality that goes with that issue of semantic integrity. That's close to that we want to make sure that all of the information is correct, is not corrupted, and certainly is complete, that we want to make sure that everything is complete. So how does that play out in a system? So let's say we were going to work on a payroll system. What are the security issues involved with a payroll system? Well, first of all, there's certainly confidentiality issues, aren't there? people are very hesitant to have their salaries shared. So we want to make sure that if we were writing a payroll system, we would want to make sure that the salaries of employees are not disclosed randomly to arbitrary users, that anyone who goes into the HR system or the payroll system could see anyone's salary. We want to make sure that only the people who need to know that information can see it. The security issues of integrity. We want to make sure that salaries are only modified by those people that have the authorization to do that. And you wouldn't want it to go up. Well, you might want it to go up, but you certainly wouldn't want it to be moved down. And then from an availability point of view, we want to make sure that the paychecks are printed on time, at the right time. I want to make sure that when I go to enter in, if I'm an hourly person, I want to make sure that the system is available for me at the end of my day to be able to enter the number of hours that I worked. And when we talk about information quality, I really want to make sure that the people who are responsible for the system have made sure that I am taxed appropriately, that I don't have more money, that the correct amount of money is being taken out of my paycheck, and that is all done through data tables within the system, and I want to make sure that whoever is maintaining that has put in the right rates, that I'm not losing too much of my salary or not enough of my salary, so that at the end I don't get surprised on my taxes. And I want to make sure that everything is complete. I want to make sure that not only are they taking out my taxes, but that they're getting sent to the right place, and that they're taking out all the taxes, not just the federal taxes, but state taxes or local taxes as well. So there's all of those. You can see how all of those different components can play into information security. And we're going to use this example further as we talk about how we mitigate security risks. But let's talk about what those threats are. The three big ones are disclosure, deception, and disruption.